sports. Now, here's your host, Jim Rotolo.
And welcome, everybody, to The Wild and the Innocent here on E Street Radio. The phone number is 877-70-BRUCE, 877-702-7823. Email address, estreetradio@SiriusXM.com. The social media pages to get your requests in this week. The Wild and the Innocent with Jim Rotolo is the Facebook page. At Jim Rotolo is where you can find me on Twitter. And it's Jim Rotolo on Instagram. We are broadcasting live from our SiriusXM studios in New York City. Happy Friday, E Street Nation. So happy to be back with you on the air this week. Now, we're going to do something a little different to start off the show. Normally, I'll give you a little bit of what's coming up on the channel next week and moving forward. And I will get to that at some point. But there's a gathering of spring nuts that are past the swamps of Jersey. They're down the shore where I hear everything is all right. It is the Spring Nut Serenade. It is back after a brief hiatus due to the global pandemic. And they're gathering down there to celebrate the weekend. People have come in from all over the country. And it's a great fan group of Springsteen fans, and they've got a lot of activities lined up. And the organizer, the creator, and the warden of the Spring Nut Asylum, his name is Howie Chaz, and he joins me to start off the show this week. Howie, how are you?
Hey, Jim. We are doing great. We have hundreds of spring nuts in the Asbury Hotel that have want to say hello.
Hello, Spring Nuts. Wow, that's a hell of a crowd, Howie.
Yeah, definitely more than I expected on the Friday, but it is so great to see all these faces again, and we're looking forward to a great weekend.
That's great. So what's lined up for the weekend?
We got a lot. So today we're at the Asbury. Tonight we have, what's the name of the band? E Street Shuffle, who are playing at Salty's. And then we have tomorrow at Danny Clinch's Gallery. He will be hosting two shows. One of them will be what we call Serenades by the Sea. That will be with Jake Tissell, Joe Durso, Chris Fritz, and Joe Rotolo. And then we have a show from Jake Tissell that will be performing the full Jackson Browne Late for the Sky album.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And then that is not over for Saturday. Then we go to Bar A to do Tramps Like Us is playing a Spring Nut show. And then, of course, the big shebang on Sunday, our main event, the Serenade at the Stone Pony.
Okay, so what happens at the Serenade at the Stone Pony? What is that about? It's just a gathering kind of thing?
It's a gathering of all spring nuts from literally around the world, because there are people from Iceland and Australia and the Middle East and everywhere.
Wow.
It's crazy. And we can consider it like all of us being in the Springsteen pit for the Springsteen's longest concert ever, 6 hours straight. So,
that's great. Awesome. Yeah. That is so cool. So we've got International Spring Nuts joining you in Asbury. Unfortunately, the weather's not great. I see it's raining out.
We were supposed to meet at the boardwalk, but that didn't happen, so we brought it to the Asbury. But it actually worked out better because I get to see everybody at once. And it's really, really, if you were here just to see the sea of faces that we haven't seen in 2.5 years, it's just, it's heartwarming.
Yeah, I know that was hard. You know, obviously none of us were able to really do anything. And I know, the Serenade is a very important thing to the fans to get together, all throughout the years. Now, this is, what would you consider this? Is this Serenade 4 or 5?
Yeah, it's Serenade 4.
Okay.
It should be Serenade 6, but
yeah.
It's Serenade 4. And we did something back in October, but it wasn't a Serenade. It was something a lot more watered down. But what's going on here right now is the full Serenade.
That's awesome. That is so great to hear. It just is having live music again and people getting together and traveling and coming, like you said, from all over the world to get to be a part of this weekend is really awesome. And we have new listeners to the channel. We have new listeners to SiriusXM and E Street Radio all the time. So explain, what is a spring nut? If we could,
See,
what is the definition of a spring nut, Howie?
In my crazy head, I like to define you're a Springsteen fan, and then you're upper level spring nut, but spring nut is two things. Spring nut is, yes, it's, you're over the top Springsteen fan, but in all seriousness, and this, Jim, firsthand, is that we try to do a lot more than just, talk about the music and go to concerts. And we're all about getting together. We're all about community. We're all about connections. And we're definitely all about, helping one another and living up to the lyric. We take care of our own. We raise a credible amount of charity for a lot of foundations that, and that's what I feel. And, all due respect to any other group out there that separates us, a spring nut from a Springsteen fan. Right.
And so I know there's charities involved here. So name the charities that the group is involved with for this time around.
We are doing just one charity. We teamed up with Joe Durso and Why Hunger.
Mm-hmm.
And I am extremely proud to say, and I never thought in my wildest dreams that we would be saying this, but to date, and we still have 2 more days to go on this, we have currently raised $31,000.
Yeah. All right. That is awesome, Howie. Thank you, Spring Nuts. That is incredible. Wow.
Yeah, and it's a testament to the group. And again, if you're asking me the question, that's your answer. That's what separates a spring nut from a Springsteen fan.
Wow, that is really cool. Congratulations, and thanks to Joe Durso as well for getting involved with you guys and creating this awesome weekend. Danny Clinch is involved. This thing is growing every year, and it looks to get bigger and bigger.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I want to thank my wife, Julie, who's my partner, and definitely want to thank Amy Cowman, because she's always the silent that left out on this thing. She's a big help, and those are my partners in this Serenade. I can't do it by myself.
Oh, great. Well, listen, have a fantastic weekend. Spring Nuts, play nice, enjoy yourselves, have a good time, and just look. It's been a long time, so it's just great that everybody is back there and in wonderful Asbury Park and celebrating Bruce's music and celebrating good times and stories. And that's what the topic is for this week's show. It's the Springsteen song that takes you back. And I know every single spring nut that's there with you in Asbury Park, Howie, has at least one song, if not a dozen.
Well, see, the thing is, and if I could do a couple of things. First of all, Jim, as always, I want to thank you for your support of the group. And I also want to thank E Street Radio. And thank you for allowing me to speak now on the Serenade. Also, I know the Spring Nuts want to say something to you, and I also have a song that I would like to dedicate to them, if I may. But first, the Spring Nuts want to say something.
Oh, thank you, guys. Thank you, Spring Nuts. I really appreciate that.
So, Jim, usually I would pick, my normal song would be the normal song, Land of Hope and Dreams, or We Take Care of Our Own, and all that stuff. And but this time around, I think we have new meaning to this gathering. So I want to choose this time around, Long Time Coming, because it's been a long time coming, and we are back, and we are here.
Absolutely. I'm so glad you guys are all back. Thank you, Howie. Thank you, Spring Nuts. Have yourselves a fantastic weekend. Howie, I'll be talking with you soon. Thanks again for calling in.
Thanks, Jim. Be well.
All right, you too. Thank you. All right, so Spring Nuts are in full effect down in Asbury Park. The topic this week, the Springsteen song that takes you back. 877-70-BRUCE, 877-702-7823. After we jump on the burning train, long time coming. East Street